for me, that's the crux of what being a nurse educator is I like to imagine that I am having or have the potential to have an impact on a much greater number of patients than if I was still working at the bedside taking care of people by myself, because I can provide nurses the opportunity to explore these concepts and challenge their own understandings of what they mean. Not only how do I understand nursing as social justice, but how do I understand it as part of some bigger structure, including the fact that like healthcare systems as a whole have contributed to structural inequality.
My dinner conversations were always more on the deep end of the pool, because it's just how I'm wired. But it wasn't until it came home into my life, until it became, I'm the person with the disabilities. We come from have a large family that's very conservative evangelical Christian family. My oldest child is trans. My youngest child is an environmental studies major. My middle child has joined the military. And I started navigating all of these complexities in my own family, and how to do that in a way with grace and kindness and respect, and inclusion, because it's family, that it's what matters. That I then started extrapolating out from that of well, why don't we do this everywhere? It's so doable.
I guess if I were thinking about personally, I think it helps to make me, I'll just speak for me, me a more empathic, compassionate, better human, and better able to, so a lot, people have to do a lot of, particularly people who have marginalized identities have to do a lot of code switching. And it helps me to understand better how they might be code switching with me, and helps me to hopefully figure out how I can code switch too, to adapt to a situation that's culturally different from my home culture.
Companies look for a dividend in terms of their bottom line, which is a problem, because when conducting a diversity and inclusion program, the employees sort of know that they're second or subservient, if you will, to the real purpose of the program, which is to include or to increase the bottom line. So from the organization's standpoint, it's really not about the workers so much as their bottom line. Worker knows that. That's why oftentimes when companies have diversity and inclusion training programs, everybody goes up on the roof to have a smoke. But if that speaker, the organization, is not an authority, then there's no buy-in, no matter how good the diversity and inclusion program is.